Exclusive. Ukraine expected to give up land, some arms under U.S. peace plan, sources say. So before I continue with this lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother lawyer, and I teach with the Great Millstone National Camp. Come back with a quick lesson. And this lesson will be entitled, There Will Be No Peace. All right? There ain't no peace. Now, going right into it. Salaki. The U.S. peace plan, sources say, right? That's what they got. It's the U.S. peace plan between the UK, not the UK, the Ukraine and the United States, where they want Trump wants Ukraine to give up some land. It says some arms under U.S. peace plan. Now, in my opinion, this is a way for them to put U.S. military in Ukraine in case of, well, ain't no in case of, but either America's going to attack Russia or vice versa. All right. So now, if, America is in that land, say Russia bombs America by accident, or, lay down artillery, end up hitting their positions, the U.S. may respond and boom, or whoever, who knows, and, it can go down many ways. So reading a little bit of this article, it says, two sources say that the U.S. wants Kyiv to accept its peace plan, investigate, and damn, I can't read, plan investigates Ukraine giving up land. Some arms say Zelensky is visiting Turkey on new peace drive. He will meet U.S. Army officials on Thursday. Why? Why? I mean, of course, we know why, and that's because the U.S. is helping Ukraine, on the ground. So I get that. But why is the U.S. putting a base there? Something I looked up. Says, does America have, which I know that they don't, does America have a military base in Ukraine? And it says, no, the United States doesn't have a permanent military base in Ukraine. But if they give them land, they can build that. And I'm not saying that I'm right, but just a thought. But we know that this World War III is going to happen. All right. But the U.S. ain't never had no land near Russia, because we know that the U.S. has military bases around the world. I think it's like over 1,000. Anyway, it says, though there have been reports of limited number of U.S. personnel there for security, cooperation, and assistance. Salakia. But anyway, going down, says no official base. There is no official U.S. or NATO military bases in Ukraine. So boom, there you have it. All right. So this can go down many ways. Now let's get let's see, classic scriptures. Milk scriptures. What does a baby do? They drink milk, and then they grow. Off of that milk, they wean from off the milk. Then they can start eating. Mush. Peas, salt foods. When their teeth come in, they're able to get down. Anyway, because we got to be like in the babes. Everything you learned before the truth, you can't mix that with the truth. So anyway, let's go right into it. Basic milk scriptures. World War III, because peace and safety. 1 Thessalonians 5. Because ain't no peace That time is over with. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 1. But the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night, right? So the day of the Lord ain't nobody looking for. That's why it gave the scenario of a thief at the night. A thief coming in while you sleep, because you're not looking for him. You're not looking for him. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And so these weapons that Zelensky is, giving over to the U.S., they can be given to them troops to use, because, you limit transporting weapons. But we got weapons here. We just need the troops. We need the bodies, and then boom, you got the military troops there, but hey, sudden destruction is going to come. Ain't no peace from this. It says verse 4, but ye brethren are not in darkness, right? So we're in the know of what's going on. It says that day should overtake you as a thief, right? So it's not gonna we're not gonna be surprised when that day happens. That day comes and it happens, because we've been watching. Lord's watchmen. You're supposed to be watching, standing at that tower, looking. You got a 360 degree view. You looking around, seeing which way the enemy's gonna come. All right, so it ain't gonna overtake us. Now, give me 1 second. Second Esdras 9:1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we are measuring the times that we're in, because we in the last days. Other people know that, and so we're watching for us to get up out of here ultimately, and not saying we're gonna be raptured, but we're gonna go through some trouble and then hopefully be saved. Even if you become a martyr for the Lord, you still saved, because you're gonna be risen first. Let's see. Yeah, verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. The end of what? Let's find out. 2 Esdras 6 and 6. No. 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, symbolizing that Jacob, so-called blasphemes, Native Americans and Hispanics and the Israelite foreigners, they may look like the other nations, but their bloodline goes back to the Israelites, right? Taking this people down, which are the Edomites, so-called white people, via the Lord, because the Lord, Isaac's the one that gave the blessing of him having the sword, the fatness of the earth. Now it's going to be stripped away. We're in that time of him being stripped away of his blessing. All right. It says, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So that's why chaos is like how it is, because this is the end of Esau world, and it's list of prophecies that got to pop off while he's in the midst of going down. The MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, the chip, World War III, division, race war, neighbors fighting against each other, and so on and so forth. All right, give me 1 second. And ultimately, the Lord is bringing these calamities. Why? We're about to find out. Right here in verse 3, Joel 3 and 2, I'm in 2, damn. It says, and I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat and will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land, which they parted the Lord's land. So now today, you got the people in the land. It's been parted unto them, themselves. And now what they call themselves, is people. But they're not the people. They help part